Let's work on the Christmas tree on our candy cane lane bench pillow. It's time to work on the tree on page 17. All the fabric as well as the background fabric have been fused with interfacing on the back, and I have the batting. From the embellishment packet, I will be using the flexi foam and the cork. Let's get started on the tree. I'm using Embellishment's Essential Software, and again, this is an optional step and you can do everything right at your machine. But I do have to say that I loved using software. Now I need to bring in the files for the Christmas tree. I can go to the merge stitch file icon and I would navigate to the background quilting and bring that in, and then in order to get the tree in, I would have to go back to the merge stitch file icon, navigate again to my embroidery files, and I just find that a little cumbersome. An easier way is just to open the folder where you have all of your files. I will open the quilting backgrounds. Again, I'm using the Christmas 2 for all of my blocks, block by block, and I need the 6 by 8. So I will drag and drop that into the hoop. Now I can go back to the embroidery files and I will drag in the Christmas tree. The first thing I'm going to do, like I did with the other blocks, is select the tree, and using my down arrow, I am going to move the tree down so that it is even with this inside orange line of the background quilting. And again, this is an older file, and so they are set up a little different. So the first 2 steps of this Christmas tree I need to delete. The first is that blue line, and the second is the placement line for this block, which we don't need because we are using the background quilting. Again, this is an older project, and so things were done differently before they came out with the background quilting. So I am going to select that first step, hold my shift key down and select that second step and hit delete on my keyboard. Now I am also, again, because I'm in software, I'm going to make changes to the background quilting. As a recap, there are 5 steps in the background quilting. The first is the placement for the batting. The second is the tack down of the batting. The third is the placement for the fabric. The fourth is the tack down of the fabric, and then the background quilting. I do need the placement for the batting, so I will leave that step in. I do not need the tack down of the batting because I cut my batting to that exact size. And I will hold my shift key down and select the third step, which is the placement for the fabric. Because this placement line is only 1/4 of an inch past the batting, I don't need this because our fabric is cut much larger. And so that is a step that I either skip at my machine, or when I'm using software, I delete. So I have selected both and I will hit delete on my keyboard. Now again, you can do these right at the machine where you can skip those steps, or you can choose to run all 5 steps and do it the traditional way. There's one additional thing that I'm going to do. I am going to Command A on my Mac to select both designs. I am going to come up to this rotate left and rotate it, since again I am using my 9 by 14 inch hoop. And then when I bring this in, I will scoot it all the way down to save on my stabilizer. So now that I have everything that I need, I will come to File, Save Stitch File As, and I will give this a name. And again, I will save it into my Combined Files folder. And then I will add it to my USB so I can take to my machine. I'll open Embroidery and then go to my USB and choose the Combined Files folder, and I will select the tree and I'll hit set. Now I have my 9 by 14 inch hoop in my machine, and so I'm going to come to edit and move. I could also just drag it down, but I am going to use the down arrow and move it all the way down to the bottom of my hoop. Because I am starting a new piece of stabilizer, I want it moved all the way to the bottom to save, to work on another block on the top of the hoop. I just stitched the placement line for the Flexi Foam for the tree. Flexi Foam is that kind of, squishy foam that will give this kind of a 3D look. And the reason I used brown is because, one, it will be easy to see when I need to trim this. And also, after I put the Flexi Foam on, I am doing the tree trunk with the cork and the outlining, and so this dark brown will be the thread that will be seen, and so I just went ahead and changed that instead of doing everything in white where it might be hard to see with the Flexi Foam. So let's continue. I wanted to mention a few things. When I put my Flexi Foam down, I put the rectangle long ways this way when it was really meant to go this way. And I did that because now I have a whole extra piece that I can use. If I turn it this way, I can do a whole nother tree if I choose to do this design again, instead of just wasting that whole piece. And again, that's the reason I don't cut my embellishments to size, or just use the whole piece that they give me when I can save and now have this whole piece and have enough to do a whole nother tree. The second thing is, when I trimmed this, I used my bigger scissors, and then I needed to come back in and trim a little bit closer, especially in some of these little points, because the Flexi Foam is 3 layers, and so sometimes it's hard to get close with bigger scissors. But I cut the majority of it and then came back with my little scissors and kind of trimmed as close as I could. So let's keep going. I'm ready to cut my Christmas tree block to size, and I wanted to show how I added the second block, which is the blue house, and you'll be able to see more of that when I have the video for the blue house. So I just need to take this out, and as always, I do remove the basting stitches because I use the Kimberbell orange pop rulers. However, I wanted to show, if you don't use the orange pop rulers, you can use these basting stitches as a guide. I would first measure before cutting because sometimes, you know, things get pulled in when you quilt. And so the best thing to do would be to measure the width, which these blocks need to be 6.5 wide. And if I measure from the basting to the basting, you can see that it's a little bit short. So you would just need to compensate. Like up here, it's exactly the right width. Down here, it looks like it's pulled in a little bit more. And down here is right. So, and then you would do the same thing for the height. You would need to measure to make sure. So again, it's a little bit short in the center and about right on towards the outside. So if you were going to cut these with just a regular ruler, I would trim 1/4 inch from the batting and then measure up to get the correct height, and the same thing, cut one side and then measure before you cut. You can't always just go by the basting. So I am going to go ahead and get the basting out and then remove the stabilizer like I have the other blocks right next to my batting.